That sounds dangerous.
Hi, and
Shall we do that
Professional
again?
start as always.
no, that's staying in. Three Legs, Four Wheels, 2026 season's about to start. We're back. It's Paul and
Chris.
And Kieran.
And that sounds dangerous. Sorry our season preview is coming so late. It's just been one of those bloody awful scheduling things, and two of us in completely separate countries managed to get ill last weekend.
Yeah.
At the same time, somehow.
Yeah, I came down with Instaflu, and Kieran, was that cheese poisoning again? Be honest.
Well, you know what? Last Monday afternoon, I made Jane and I a cup of tea, and as I finished making it, I went, "Oh crap, Jane would like a fennel tea or something." Okay, well, I'll have these 2 cups of tea. So I sat there and drank both cups of tea, and I thought to myself, I should have 2 cups of tea more often. This is actually quite nice. And then about 20 minutes later, I was really unwell. So I don't know.
So you've got tea poisoning.
I've got a tea. Yeah, I've got a tea capacity that I can't go over. Which is the most British sentence in the world. Oh no, he's had too much tea, sir.
We're going to get
This gentleman appears to be drinking tea from a Sports Direct mug.
Well, that's a very British reference.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
for the benefit.
And of its time as well, because you can't get them anymore.
Do they not do them
Oh,
anymore?
you can.
Oh.
No, you
Where
can.
from?
I don't want to name the brand, but I think they're known as Sports Direct.
Amazing.
Other sports brands are available. So I ordered some light clothes to go to Mexico about 6 weeks ago or so, and for 2 t-shirts, or 2 shirts rather, linen shirts, the parcel was very heavy, and I went, "What on earth is in the what the?" Oh, for fuck's sake! They still do the mugs.
I've not.
It's
had
now
a
in a
mug for
charity
while.
shop.
You can now choose when you order anything from them to not get the mug sent.
I don't think I've necessarily opted out. I think I've just not received mug. I've been robbed.
For the benefit of anyone who doesn't know, Sports Direct mugs are about a pint and a half.
Probably about that, yeah.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
It does take a
I
lot.
want to say 2.
It does
2
take a
pints,
lot of
probably.
beverage to fill them,
Yes.
whatever that beverage may be.
We might have to do some research and find out exactly what the capacity is.
Yeah. If have you got some bananas in the fridge?
Yes,
How
I
many
don't know how it was.
For a Sports Direct.
Where is this going?
Because I can take a picture of a Sports Direct mug and I can put it on Discord or put it on Twitter.
Oh,
with
I
a
just assumed with,
Banana for scale.
banana for scale.
they're small bananas, so I will caveat they are at the small end. I was disappointed.
So we'll have to go out and buy some big bananas to show how small the small bananas
I was just going to assume we would get the measuring drug and pour that into the mug rather than start comparing it to fruit.
It feels like not the known way to measure.
Sorry for coming with these radical
Are
suggestions.
you not aware of banana for scale? No.
It's not a fixed measure. It's not a standard unit of measure. Bananas come in various sizes. What's wrong with you people?
So it says here that the mug capacity of a Sports Direct mug is roughly 568 ml, which is
No,
just
that's
one
not
pint,
roughly.
strangely enough.
Roughly 568.
Are we going
Well, I mean, it could be
to
570.
the decimal
I
point of the
suppose.
milliliter system?
Well, I did ask Google how many bananas can you fit in a Sports Direct mug, and I've thrown Gemini slightly because it said based on the volume of a standard Sports Direct mug, approximately 2 to 3 average-sized bananas, if broken or packed tightly.
Wow.
Not the first question I thought I'd be asking in 2026 on the podcast. However,
I hate to change the subject.
We have spiraled.
But should we talk about Formula One, because things may be happening
Not
soon.
Formula Banana.
Not Formula Banana.
How many Aston Martin tears can you fit in a Sports Direct
Oh,
mug?
there will not be enough mugs.
Oh,
I think we have to start on Aston Martin this week, because they will be the first ones that we talk about this time next week after the race.
I think so.
Yes. So the Honda engine, vibrates too much to charge the battery.
Yeah, that's
Is that
not
what
good.
it is? It vibrates.
Yeah, that's the latest thing that has come out, and they can only charge up to 250 kilowatts instead, or they have trouble charging up to 250 kilowatts instead of the maximum 350.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they are screwed for the first half of this season.
Because this doesn't sound like a quick fix.
No,
No.
Well,
So they
and
used
if,
all of their battery packs, didn't they, for testing? They ran out of decent battery packs because of the... That must have been because of the vibration, but I assumed it was something to do with the use of charging.
it's wearing them down massively. It's yet again the old classic of it's all too tightly packed together. The cylinders vibrate too much, which shakes the whole engine, which shakes the whole battery, which breaks the battery, which means you can't do more than, what was it? I think they did 26 laps was their longest run. So they've not even done half a race so far.
yeah. They even said this afternoon, or it was even published this afternoon in a variety of places, that they are going to try and qualify under 107%, and then do a few laps and retire both cars because they've run out of spares.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Do you remember
Well, and-
old school Formula E where the driver had to come in mid-race and get a car that was fully charged? That's what they could do.
So if you see Aston turn up with
except
4
they're the
cars
only
this
ones with the problem.
what is it about Honda and new F1 regulations?
Well, Honda and new F1 regulations, Honda and bloody anything Fernando Alonso tries to do. Honda and it's always engines with Honda. Yeah, they make engines, you idiot, Kieran.
They used to make cars, and the last few of them were crap.
Yeah, the Earth car. Ooh. Yeah.
Which actually caught fire.
It just seems like... It seems like...
It seems like a long pause.
There are no words.
Oh, I thought my internet died, so I'll just let you carry on. I just said nothing.
What, you on the Honda Wi-Fi?
It seems like every time they go into a new era, they just forget the expertise they had before. And, Honda won championships with Red Bull, and Red Bull became Red Bull powertrains, but really it was the IP of Honda. It just seems like every time they go into something new, they go, well, this is our chance. It can't go much worse because we've been pretty brilliant. It's gone awfully. And we're there again, yet again with Honda, where Audi have built their own engines. They've worked up from scratch. They're ahead. And they've won nothing because they didn't exist before that.
Yeah, I just do not get it.
No,
With
no, it's
when
tough, isn't it?
when Honda were with McLaren, I think with Drive to Survive, we kind of very much got the impression that they worked separately, didn't we? That Honda were not necessarily talking to McLaren about what their car design was, how the engine was going to be packaged, all of that lot. I wonder if there's a bit of that again.
Well, apparently, Aston Martin have formed a crisis unit to support Honda. Yeah, Andy Cowell went over to the Honda factory to work out what the hell was going on. And
Well, he built the Mercedes engines essentially, didn't he? So
yeah,
if there's someone who knows it, it's him.
he knows what he's doing. But it just seems that they managed to get it completely and utterly wrong again.
Wasn't Andy Cowell's main job last year when he decided to sort of step back from the team principal role was because I need to focus on making sure that this engine works with our car?
Yes. As it appears now,
Yeah.
it's the engine. I don't think they could put the engine in any car and it would work.
Well,
Yeah.
and this is another problem they've got. They don't have another car to put it in. With Mercedes and Ferrari, they've got multiple outfits where if something starts going wrong in McLaren's engine department, they've got other teams which can test the engines thoroughly, and the engine department will know exactly what's going on. Honda don't
Yeah.
have that. They're just
Well,
Aston Martin.
Yeah, well, not anymore. They don't have it. They had it when they had Red Bull and Racing Bulls, or
Yeah.
whatever iteration of that team it was at the beginning. But yeah, so they did have two teams, and I think that's when Honda really started coming into their own. Was when they had like ideas from two different teams that they could almost bounce off, themselves and each other. Like, oh wait, okay, so they're finding this, but we're finding this, and okay, you might argue that Red Bull and Racing Bulls are incredibly similar, but they had the same problem as Kieran just alluded to then when it was with McLaren, just a single Honda engined team, and no point of reference, no. Oh right, okay, but these guys are doing it okay, whereas everybody else has got apart from Audi, has got at least one other point of reference.
Yeah, but I mean, Audi have got the reliability sorted, because we didn't hear any problems at all coming out of the artist formerly known as Sauber. I mean, Audi is still running out of Hinwil, which has been that team's headquarters through many iterations. I'm just looking at the actual amounts that the teams ran in testing, and it's just utterly unthinkable. Mercedes did the most. This is across all three sessions. Barcelona shakedown and the two Bahrain tests. Mercedes engines ran for over 21,000 kilometres. Ferrari engines over 16,000. Red Bull 10,500. The Red Bull Ford engines in two cars. Audi just shy of 5,000 kilometres, only running one car. Honda 2,115.
I'm surprised it's that much.
They managed to run 1,000 kilometres at the first Bahrain test that we weren't allowed to watch all of on TV, just the last hour, which is still just short of half of what Audi ran, and Audi have only got the one car.
Didn't Aston Martin rock up on day 3 or something in the end?
I think they turned up. They turned up on the Wednesday in Barcelona. Didn't do any running.
Broke down.
Yeah.
Because you could only run 3 days, couldn't you, in Barcelona?
Yeah, it was three out of the 5. Lance did an outlap and broke down during it, and then they managed to get a little bit of running on the Thursday and the Friday. Yeah. The second Bahrain test, Aston didn't even show up, and then the car completely locked up in a straight line.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes.
Was that when he went into was it 16th gear or something he went into, Kieran?
6, yeah. The telemetry showed that it went up to and above 60th gear, which I think is just hyperspeed. At that point, it's not.
So on the text thing that I was following on that day as I was working, as I suppose a lot of people were, on the text thing I saw, we had a spinner and it's Lance Stroll and he's in the gravel and the car is beached. And then I think I got a message on our chat group. I think it was Kieran who messaged through, and I was like, yeah, of course, yeah, absolutely, of course it's Lance Stroll. And then when I actually watched it that night on the YouTube highlights, I was like, wait a minute. That's not his fault. It's so easy to just go, Lance, come on.
I mean, normally it is Lance, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Absolutely, yeah. But it absolutely was not his fault. There's nothing he could have done about that. I mean, he was just driving along and the car went, no.
I was watching it live and I went to the loo, and whilst I was in the loo, I had my phone on me, and Paul, you messaged saying, Stroll's in the gravel. I went,
was it Paul? Sorry, my apologies.
No, what, eh? And then I went downstairs and went, oh, for 8 hours of testing. And that's the only exciting thing, and I've missed it.
And then, of course, Fernando went out in the car the following day, and it died and was actually...
You didn't even wait.
Electrically live. And he was, I think he was out of the car before it completely rolled to a halt. He was back in the pits. And they had to send a carload of mechanics and engineers out to discharge the battery on the car so they could actually bring it back to the garage.
Yeah, and that's when we have a bigger safety issue there, don't we? I mean, I know these cars are live sometimes. And we've seen people like Alonso and Hulk do the big, busted jump off the halo. But it's not a ideal thing to have going into a thing where you go, well, this is just a symptom of a car. It might happen. Oh, well, shrug. I'd fix that one if I was them.
But
There again, easy for me to say. I'll just fix that.
as Paddy Lowe said, and as I definitely clarified, building a Formula One car these days is very difficult, especially when it's a Lego McLaren.
Oh, yeah.
God,
That's still ongoing.
That is still ongoing. I've done two stages out of 5, and I looked it up, and according to Gemini, other AIs are available. It takes between 3 and 9 hours to build the 2022 McLaren.
That's quite a big window.
Yeah, might I just say that's bollocks.
I've not ventured into my Lego McLaren yet.
I have done about 16 hours on it so far, and it looks like 2 halves of what could be the scaffolding that you'd build an F1 car round. It's going to look great
So
when
you're
it's
further along than Aston Martin then.
Yeah, it's going to look great when it's finished.
Well, according to Andrea, you're further along than Steve the accountant.
Yeah, but he's got to angle grind every piece to the precise measurements, just in case there's any overcasting or anything.
My mate Adam got a 2024 advent calendar, like build all the cars in Lego. And I'm not saying that they're not easy, but he finished it about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
God.
Yeah. He's also busy, but it's just a very long time.
Talking of building cars, we've got another 10 different cars on the grid to talk about, and their prospects for the year.
Yes, I've got the
Can I-
11 cars.
Can we quickly read out this press release from
Yes.
Aston Martin tonight?
Are we going to need some kind of backing track?
We need the music from Tony Hart's gallery if you still got it.
Every season, the first Grand Prix presents many unknowns. This year, more than most, following the biggest change in the sports regulation in a generation. But however the opening race weekend unfolds, this isn't going to be a season where the opening races set the pattern for the rest of the year. What is guaranteed at Melbourne's Albert Park is a huge and knowledgeable crowd, with the F1 the centrepiece of a huge festival of motorsport, spread across 4 days. Supercar, Formula 2 and Formula 3. Demonstrations, parades and more than you can shake a vintage DB5 Conrod at. What? With paddocks and display stands spread across the park. Of course, it's not all about the F1 in Albert Park for us this weekend. After an excellent 3rd place in the Formula 3 Championship, Mari Boyer?
Marry,
One
I
of them.
think. I want
Marry
to say
Boyer.
the commentators last year said marry.
Mari Boyer takes the step up and contests, with Prema, his first F2 race. Instantly a winner when he joined our driver academy partway through 2025, our Spanish junior has set his sights on bigger and better in 2026. I mean, that is a cloud of... We don't talk about our issues, but isn't it a lovely track? And
It is
who's
very
looking
much-
forward to the supercars?
Come and look at our merch. Don't pay attention to the F1. Look at our child we bought from F3.
Look at all these spec series cars. Ignore the one we've actually built.
There's more information about a vintage DB5 in there than their own race car.
The last press release I got from Aston Martin, I've got this horrible feeling that they may have blocked me for some reason.
Is it something we said?
It might well have been, or something they thought we were going to say, and probably just have in the last sort of 19 minutes or so. A media
Doing the
alert,
right thing if we're getting blocked by Aston Martin. We're doing the right thing.
a media alert about the Aston Martin Aramco F1 Academy car, which, going on the rules of F1 Academy, has to look like the car of the parent team anyway.
Yeah, isn't F1 Academy's spec series, isn't it? Aren't
Yes.
they all the same?
Yes, no, they've just
Formula 4, yeah.
they've just revealed delivery.
And does it look exactly the same as the other livery?
Yes,
Good lord.
That press release could just
Is
say...
it green?
it's green.
Close your eyes, picture a completely blank F4 car, picture our F1 car, put the two together.
I mean, there is a slight difference with this one, in that all the photos have got Matilda Parts standing next to it because she's their driver for this season. And she's wearing a green Aston Martin race suit.
How dare she?
Great. Oh, it's all kicking off.
I mean,
Matilda Parts, what a name.
That's a great name.
I mean, there are other teams other than Aston Martin, but I think they are going to be the comedy team this year. I think,
Someone has to
Yeah.
be, let's be honest.
and they are the new Super Aguri, aren't they?
Well, I'm thinking, they have one of the biggest budgets, if not potentially the biggest unlimited budget, let's say, on the grid. And yet they're performing at Mana Marussia level. It's completely and utterly inexcusable, the fact that they're going to turn up to the first race. Like Chris, you said earlier, they might struggle to meet 107%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a possibility, given that they got the charging issue. The possibility is that they could do 2 charge laps to get 1 fast lap in. But what other cars can charge in 1 lap, the Honda can't handle it. So when it comes to racing, this is why we're pretty sure they're just going to do like a couple of formation, maybe a formation lap and maybe like 1, maybe 2 laps of the race and then call it a day, because they won't be able to keep the charge in the car to keep up with the rest of the field.
Yeah.
And we're at 0.0. This isn't like, oh, we're a few races in and they spotted a problem. This is like, we haven't started this set of rules yet, and they already know that they're going to be that far behind.
And this whole thing about, don't look at us at the start of the season, look at us at the end of the season. You're going to struggle to look for them at the end of the season as well, because even if they only incrementally improve bit by bit every few rounds or so, they're going to have gone through so many engines that they'll be taking grid penalties left, right, and centre. So they still won't be able to make it up the grid with those incremental improvements.
It's Merc Honda all over again, but of course, it's going to be worse now, because any unused grid penalties carry over to the next race. So, I mean, remember when Fernando and Jensen both got some like 80-odd place grid penalties each, and they just started from the back? The 85 place grid penalty will be translated into an 85.
So if you can't serve all of those places,
Yeah,
you carry on serving them.
And if you qualify at the back, they get converted to drive-throughs or stop-goes.
Oh,
I
the old
don't know how
Formula
I
E
feel
way.
about this. This just feels like it's going to be creating someone to be lapped very early.
Yeah, I never liked it when it was in Formula E, which is saying something. But it just feels a bit crass to carry on punish them beyond their original punishment when the original punishment puts them as far back as you can physically be. They're not going to start painting, they're not going to start painting more grid spaces down at Ascari. There's only so many grid spots you can take backwards. So it just feels awful. That really poor.
Was it 130 places that Jensen Button got in Belgium for the Muck Honda?
It was an absolutely ridiculous amount. It was something close to that. We were trying to work it out and couldn't.
Yeah, we were saying that he was going to start from the race previous.
Yeah.
Can I, before we move on to the next team, sure, why not? We're not going to stay on Aston again. I just want to point out, I got the F1 Academy grid up for this season in front of me. And Haas's driver this year is an American with the fantastic name, Kaylee Countryman.
Oh, this is a commentary nightmare.
This is the ITV2 spelling of Kaylee, Kaylee.
Ooh.
The ITV2 spelling.
Again, this is a very British reference.
Sorry.
Does somebody want to describe ITV2 for our international listeners?
I think Kieran's just done it.
was
He spelled
the-
Kaylee, Kaylee.
It is the home of The Only Way is Essex, which is a bit like the Real Housewives of various states, but more orange.
It's for 3 things. reality TV, repeats of Family Guy, and every other night the showing of Hot Fuzz.
They do show Hot Fuzz a lot, which is a classic.
There's a lot of Hot Fuzz, isn't it?
And on a Sunday afternoon, probably Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, God, we need some actual F1 racing just to bring us back down to normal.
It's only been like 100 days or something like that. Not even.
Watching
Oh,
IndyCar
my
on
word.
Sunday, and I never twigged, but they have like a 6-month off season.
Yeah, they finish at the start of September.
oh yeah.
Yeah, they
Nice for
they have
them.
they have 6 months away, and then poor old Dennis Hauger gets a motivational speech from James Winston.
He looked confused as fuck at that.
I've got to admit, so did I.
What happened?
James Winston turned up and he gave Hauger and his crew.
Bear in mind, Hauger, as a rookie, had qualified third. The boy did not need motivating.
But they got the full-on James Winston. You got to feel, you got to believe, you got to do it. It's all in your hands. Where is it? Hauger's like, in my hands.
Out on track.
From Jameis Winston.
Yes.
Yes. The
Of all people.
the
Jameis
the
Winston.
crab leg thief himself. Well, it's okay because NASCAR had RG3 doing the same thing.
Oh,
Yes.
Chris, for non-NFL aficionados, this is the
That's me.
equivalent of the Dallas Cowboys getting a motivational talk from Cristiano
Jamie
D'Amato.
Carragher?
This is.
Oh, okay. Cristiano D'Amato,
This
we're going down there.
I was going to say
Right.
this is a lot of quarterbacks that were the Ralph of their draft class, the Ralph Schumacher.
And at a push,
Ralph.
some Davids.
Hey, David Schumacher got married at the weekend.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah,
Not the only one.
that's
Mick
true.
Schumacher was on top for a short amount of time, for a very short amount of time, and he was actually on top of somebody else.
Santino Ferrucci,
Yes.
of all people.
Unrelated, we should say.
Yeah, not like married or anything. You know, it wasn't that much of a celebration.
I mean, they both did get wiped out by the best name on the IndyCar grid, sadly attached to the worst driver, Stingray Rob.
Yeah, that's a good name.
It is.
Until-
He's terrible.
Until you find out the Sting comes from a shortening of his grandparents' favourite Scottish town of Stirling.
Oh,
Sterling Ray Robb.
Sterling.
Is that a real fact? That's awful.
That is apparently a real fact. It was on Wikipedia and everything with
Gosh.
citations.
That doesn't mean it's a real fact. If it's on Wikipedia, you can edit those pages.
That's someone who's had a few beers late night watching the IndyCar race going, here, lads, this will be a laugh.
Oh, like the time we went to the pub quiz that always has an on this day in history round. So I went onto that particular day's Wikipedia page and invented something called St. Wayne's Day, and then heard a lot of people wishing each other a happy St. Wayne's Day in the pub.
Nice.
Oh God! So other F1 things, right?
Yes.
How the hell do you start a car?
In this new era of Formula One,
Well, yeah.
you
Rev the-
apparently need
Rev the
half
big
a
Jesus
year.
out of it.
Yeah, you need about 6 months to just wait there and rev it until you've got all your boost up to.
This
Up
is
to
what
date.
IndyCar do in their off season.
What? Rev the cars enough to
Just
start.
rev.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it
ready.
takes twice as long if you've got Sam Collins standing next to it saying, "Oh, they worked it out and these now start pretty quickly."
It's a superb video. If you see Sam Collins Ferrari, it's wonderful. It's like
It was a
it's
lucky
like
game.
that bit in The Simpsons when Lisa's doing the kids' TV report saying the Union Pacific train doesn't come by here anymore. Just
One of my favourite episodes. It's brilliant.
So you've now got to get the engine up to full revs for a period of time before you can get the battery charged enough to get enough power into the rear wheels to do a quick getaway. So they've now altered the start procedure to a 5-second pre-start period before the lights start to come on, after the last car has joined the grid. So that's going to make starts even longer, and to be honest, that is going to get the ones at the front even twitchier. And I think we're going to end up seeing more false starts this season.
Ooh, that could be fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's a two thingy procedure, isn't it? So you got a pre-start and then the actual start. So nobody should really start moving until obviously all the lights have gone out. But you would hope nobody would move before the start procedure actually starts.
Well, they've also now F1 have also now changed the criteria for what is a false start and what isn't, because it used to be on track-based sensors, and now F1 are actually taking it on sensors on the wheels that detect movement. What a revolutionary
that
idea!
Feels more sensible.
Which is why last season we appeared to have some false starts. Like Lando's was one of the main ones that was complained about. That wasn't actually flagged as a false start, but the wheels moved.
Oh yeah, Antonelli had one of those as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he got caught. Antonelli got caught for it, and Lando got away with it.
Yeah, that's it.
Hulkenberg got caught for one that was like a millimeter maybe, and they were like, "Yeah, no, sorry, it's a false start." Like, oh, really?
Yeah,
and that was just pure bad luck because he caught the track sensor.
Yeah.
But now I think, from what I can understand of the rules, any wheel movement before the lights go out and within the first tenth of a second of the lights going out is now counted as a false start. So you can get pulled for anticipating the lights going out.
Yeah, which is what Valtteri Bottas did some years ago in Mercedes, wasn't it? He anticipated it, but timed it perfectly.
Yes,
because I remember
it was
watching it and being
just, wasn't it, just on the cusp of what the allowance is.
Unlike that time that Pastor Maldonado tried it and he'd passed 3 cars before the lights went out.
that was the race where Grosjean decided that Alonso shouldn't exist anymore. Belgium 2012. Go, well,
it
we're not
was
at the
so
first turn
obvious.
yet.
It was so obvious that Charlie Whiting pointed at him from the start of the before anyone else had moved.
Oh dear, sorry.
Oh God.
Oh dear, it's not good for my queasiness.
Have you had too much tea again?
Yeah.
So we have the whole new start procedure, which apparently has bewildered Fred Vasseur.
It is bewildering, to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah. But he stands to benefit because those Ferraris look, quite frankly, shit hot off the start at the moment.
Yeah,
they do.
That Lewis practice start in the second day of the final test, he was just gone from 9th.
From 9th, and he overtook George into the. I mean, obviously it's a practice start, but he overtakes George on the way into the first corner. The reason for that is because Ferrari have a smaller turbo apparently than anyone else. All the Ferrari engine cars have a smaller turbo, which means it spins up quicker. The problem that they might get with that is reliability as the season goes on. So don't be surprised if you get many turbo failures with Ferraris. Everybody else seems to think it's a silly idea, although Ferrari it's great, it works. Of course it does for now. So there is that. There's also a thing that we haven't mentioned about these new cars is the weight of them as well.
Oh yeah.
And some cars like Williams, for example, are they're thought to be 30 kilos over the minimum limit, which is an awful lot. And then you've got Ferrari when they actually had to make their car heavier because they were right on the limit of not being heavy enough. So,
but that in itself can be a benefit, though, can't it? Because then you can choose where your ballast goes.
Yeah, you can put the right amount.
Good point. You've got
movable center of gravity, basically, which would do many favours depending on the circuit.
And also on the weather conditions as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
obviously, in a wet weather, you don't want to be all your weight at the back of the car sliding around everywhere.
But I think what is going to be interesting with this new start procedure is who else is going to get it right.
Yeah, the Haas looked pretty good off it, didn't it? As well, the Haas
Ferrari
didn't look
engine.
too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Now, I want to. I didn't really get a chance to see it during testing, but we all know that Max is probably, I'd say, the best starter on the grid.
Yeah.
How will the Ford handle that, and will that play into Max's hands? Because I mean, the Red Bull isn't the dominant car anymore, and hasn't been for the last couple of years. But what Max is particularly good at is finding where the advantage is and making the absolute most of that. And apparently overtaking is going to be still an utter nightmare with even with the movable aero and overtaking zones, and it's not DRS honest, even though the wings flap up and down. So if overtaking is going to be hard, and if he can maximise his starts, no pun intended, are we going to see him leading a hell of a lot more races?
Don't know. Depends where Red Bull are in the pecking order, doesn't it? I mean, we can talk about a post testing pecking order if you like, but are Red Bull third or fourth? And is that car in Max Verstappen's hand? Are they still a two-car team, basically? Is that car in Max Verstappen's hands more likely to be one of the top 2 or 3, rather than, back where maybe the car probably should be?
I mean, he does say that the new F1 cars are just slightly faster Formula E cars.
Yeah, he doesn't enjoy driving them, does he?
So the boss of Formula E called him out on it and invited him to the Open Day in Jeddah.
Yeah, anything for a bit of publicity, though. That bloke, he's a guy who said, "I'll put this many pound, £250,000 or something, on Max not winning the championship in 2020." Oh no, he did something stupid. Can't remember. He put money on Max winning the championship before the championship even started.
I mean,
he was that convinced he put £250,000 on it.
I mean, you're saying he'll do anything for publicity? What, like getting 10 influencers to drive incredibly expensive Formula E cars around a very tight technical circuit, and not expecting them to stick it in a wall, even when one of them was called Hammond.
The very first thing she said when she crashed was, "Tell my dad I'm okay."
And the very, very first thing that a good mate of ours, Jeff Sharp, said when he heard about it was, "That family really do like being cut out of vehicles, don't they?"
It's not untrue.
To be fair, Izzy Hammond was going round a corner.
More than her dad usually. I don't know. That time he fell off a mountain in Switzerland. That he was going round a corner then.
Was he? I thought he was going up a hill.
It was up a hill on a slight bend.
Oh, okay.
He had to steer and didn't.
Yeah, and his massive accident happened in a straight line.
Yes.
But again, much like Lance Stroll, not his fault.
So what else have we got to look forward to this season?
So one thing which I think is a bit weird is we were so celebratory, or rather the whole of the F1 community was so celebratory of getting rid of DRS last year, that what they've done instead is DRS, just with the front wing as well, and in more places.
Yeah.
4 places on the track.
To quote The Simpsons again, we're not going to the box factory this year. We're going to the box factory.
Yeah.
I mean, we did get to see Ferrari's rotisserie wing.
Ooh, rotisserie wings.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that was interesting. So it's probably the. So you always get, don't you, the new regulations, new rules. You get something that's like, oh wow, oh my god. And I think the last thing that was like this exciting was, we couldn't even really see it. It was DAS, wasn't it, the Mercedes thing, which is then outlawed almost instantly.
Yeah.
And Now, Das, you just saw the drivers in the car pulling the steering wheel or pushing it away a little bit. I can't remember what they did now, but that sort of helped keep the tires in like optimum temperatures when they were either behind the safety car or at slow part of the lap or whatever. But it wasn't anything visible. This Ferrari wing, as soon as it happened, everyone was like, "Oh my god, what is that broken? What is this? What are they doing?" And I mean, there's plenty of time between when we first saw it and Australia for the other teams to go, can we do that? Do you think we should look into doing that? So don't be surprised if it is the best option if more than one team turns up with it in Australia. But Ferrari definitely seem to have jumped the gun on that, if it's even a good idea.
That's the thing. I don't think we're going to find out. And I think it's going to be circuit dependent because it takes about half a second to fully turn round. So possibly on longer straights, like for example the back straight at Kota or the Camel Straight, they will get a lot more benefit out of it than they would on previous DRS zones like the start-finish straight in Monaco, because you're hitting the brakes by the time you press the button.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an interesting concept, generating lift over the back wing by going fully upside down rather than just reducing the drag.
Yeah, so are you looking after the tyres better if it does that? That's the question I think most people are asking, isn't it? Like, does that help? If you're lifting the back of the car slightly as you're going in a straight line, are you helping to keep the tyres from having so much friction? So looking after them a bit more on straight.
Yeah, I mean it's going to reduce the contact patch if it's lifting slightly, which is kind of it's the same concept as running the tyres at higher pressure, because the higher the pressure, the lower the contact patch.
Yeah.
Because they're stiffer against the ground. So, yeah, it might work, or it might be an unmitigated disaster. But you're saying that the last sort of real innovation that got us all wondering during testing was DAS, which happened in testing before a season that got massively disrupted, and we didn't know what races were going to happen when.
Was it 2020, was it?
It was 2020.
Oh my god, I'm so old.
because we got Scarbs to explain it on the pre-season show 4 days before the season didn't start.
Oh my god.
Yes, that was 6 years ago this week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Speaking of which, I mean, it's not a laughing matter, obviously.
No, it really isn't. This is pretty bloody serious.
Yeah, and it's I think that obviously this is about the war in the Middle East and
Yes.
the fact that in 6 weeks' time we're due to be in Bahrain for the first Grand Prix. As we're recording this on the Monday night, they were there 9-10 days ago. Unless you're Frederick Vesti, who on Saturday morning tweeted very optimistically, "I get to do a tyre test in the new Mercedes. Isn't this great?" Frederick, that's cancelled. Oh.
Yeah.
So they've still got people stuck out there as well.
Now, unfortunately, there are Mercedes, McLaren, and Pirelli and F1 staff stuck out there with closed airspace.
The BBC have said that Dubai's airspace is reopening tomorrow. So,
Yeah. The FIA have asked the teams whether they can operate with anybody who is currently not there if they can't make it for any reason. And it seems to be that the teams can operate. Ferrari were worrying about having to put some rookies on their pit stop, which would have been hilarious for the first race of the season. So I haven't seen anything about any Ferrari stuff being stuck anywhere. So how true that is, I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I think a lot of the problem was actually getting people out to Australia, because the Middle East airports like Dubai, Saudi, Doha are all regular stopovers for flights from Europe to Australia. It looks like flights are being routed via Singapore and Hong Kong now, and F1 has chartered transport planes and passenger planes to actually get teams and equipment out there whilst avoiding the Middle East.
They sort of have to. It's a bit like the pandemic, isn't it? When if McLaren wanted to travel out to a race, they'd all meet at Farnborough Airfield, along with Sky and BBC F1 and others, to all fly out together because it was the cleanest way of doing it. If you rely on commercial air travel in this current situation, you could get unstuck very quickly.
So it's definitely looking like Australia and China will be happening. A lot. The major infrastructure went straight from Bahrain to Australia at the end of testing.
Yeah. And Japan should be fine, I would have thought,
And
next week.
Japan should be fine. It may sort of... things that were meant to come back to Europe might not be able to get routed back to Europe and have to stay out that side of the world. But after the first 3 races of this season, we could be in for a bit of a break or some rescheduling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think on Saturday morning, knowing how fast these things have sort of come and gone in recent times, without going into too much of a geopolitics thing, Iran and Israel had a 12-day war, which was sort of over in, would you believe it, 12 days. Venezuela was sort of done within a day. I did wonder if this is going to be a very quick transition of power, but we're now 72 hours later and it's no different to how it was hours after it kicked off. Arguably a lot worse. And therefore, I don't really see us going to Bahrain in 6 weeks' time. I don't think it's possible. I could be wrong, but they've got to make that call early enough to arrange what else happens. Because there's air freight, there's all sorts. There's humans, air freight, there's logistics on the ground. There's what do we need to find a replacement? Where can we fit that replacement in? Which I'm sure we'll discuss now.
Also, WEC has its season opener, or is due to have its season opener in Qatar on the 26th to the 28th.
Who was that, sorry?
WEC.
Oh, heck. So, MotoGP is in Qatar in April as well.
Yeah.
Obviously Saudi Arabia, F1 is there. It's not a million miles away.
Oh, it's Saudi. Saudi
it's
been closed.
Yeah. There's
Saudi,
a lot
Saudi
going on
been
in
hit.
that region, motorsports-wise.
Yeah.
So I get the feeling we are going to see disruption to this season.
I think it was more likely to be postponement at the moment until postponed until like later in the season, and I'll try and shoehorn. We might get a couple of quadruple headers in or whatever, because they go back to the Middle East towards the end of the season, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that would be more likely, and maybe try and shuffle a couple further forward, later on in the season. But as things stand, a recording on the 2nd of March, it is unlikely that on the 12th of April, the Grand Prix will happen in Bahrain. It is only a 1-week gap then to Saudi the following week. It might still happen. This might go out of date, quicker than Kieran's cup of tea. But
it can try.
But yeah, I'm just looking at the calendar now. I can't really see anywhere else where you could shoehorn it in unless you really cut down the summer break. I'm not saying go to the Middle East in the summer break, because that was, completely unbearable to race in.
Yeah. Because what they could do is, like they did pandemic year, they sort of said, well, your summer break was the pandemic. Sorry, lads, we've got to race through it. And they sort of wiped out the summer break. It's easy to do that when you go into places like the Styrian Grand Prix, the 70th anniversary Grand Prix.
Yeah, with no fans as well, who haven't bought tickets and already arranged their travel and, months in advance.
At that point, it's a work conference. It's not a live sporting event. So if you wipe out Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, let's call them a postponement for now, then between...
That's all of April, isn't it? Those are the 2 races.
29th, which would be Japan, and May the 3rd. there's no races. Yeah, there's no races in April. And the next one is Miami on May the 3rd. So you've got 5 weeks off there. So no races in that because you can't. I don't think you can just pop in an Imola or something like that in that short notice unless it is behind closed doors. But even then, logistically,
I think we had
you'd have to give them far more notice.
Imola have got other races on. I think they've got a WEC round.
yes.
I think they've got an Italian like touring car, sports car round. So Imola is
Ferrari
fairly
Challenge.
booked at the Ferrari Challenge, I think, as well. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's not a lot of room to squeeze in there.
So the only thing I could think, like looking later on in the calendar, is if you move the Azerbaijan Grand Prix from the end of September, if you move that into the summer break, you've then got a break. You've then got from the Spanish Grand Prix on September the 13th to the Singapore Grand Prix on October 11th. You've then got 4 weeks to try and squeeze 2 Grand Prix in.
Yeah, but the problem with moving Azerbaijan is you're actually
It takes months to set it up, doesn't it?
yeah, changing things for a whole city because it's a street race.
Good point.
And that isn't something you can do at a couple of weeks' notice.
Yeah, there's
The
no easy
cleaner
answer.
thing might be so we've got after the summer break, August 23rd, Netherlands. Then there's a 2-week gap to Italy, but then Italy is back to back with Spain. Now, if you put something in that 2-week gap, you'd have 4 back to back. Not ideal. So the alternative could be Azerbaijan, September 24th. There's a 2-week gap to Singapore, and then a 2-week gap after that to United States. Now, United States have 2 back-to-back afterwards, so you could create a triple header between Azerbaijan and Singapore. And at that point, you could probably get away with putting in maybe a Bahrain or a Saudi Arabia. It will be hot, though, because we remember how Qatar was when it was in the first weekend in October, and it was all the tyre pit every 18 laps and that sort of thing. And people were, is that the one where Logan Sargent retired because he was too tired?
Yeah.
I want to say.
Yes.
He was too unwell. Yeah, that went well for his career. So there is a gap there where you might be able to get in Mugello, maybe. Maybe that's the right temperature for that. But then you're in serious trouble because you can't put anything in between Singapore and United States because that'll be 5 back-to-back, and you're going to be gadding around all over the place. So after that, you've got Brazil, a week gap between that and 2-week gap between that and Las Vegas. They could put a race in there, but you'd have to travel out of the continent to come straight back in the next weekend. And it's only 1 week then until Qatar and 1 week to Abu Dhabi. So it'd be 5 on the bounce. So one idea I had, as an expert on these matters, one idea that I had was, why don't you put in either Bahrain or Saudi Arabia on the 13th of December? Because then you've got 9 months to plan it. Okay, you're pushing the season end back another week, but you haven't released the 2027 calendar yet. We've had a season closer that late in the year during ye olde pandemic. So it might not be the worst idea in the world to just go, okay, well, season closer is now Saudi Arabia on the 13th or Bahrain on the 13th, and that's it.
I think what they would probably more likely have to do for contractual reasons is to move Abu Dhabi back to the 13th and slot an extra race in on the 6th, because how much are they paying for the final race of the season?
Yeah, good point. Yeah. And this is all relying on this being cleared up in 9 months, you know?
Worth keeping in mind as well, Bahrain has WEC at the start of November. So that could also be a thing that they're having to sort of fit in.
No easy no easy answer for it, is there?
No. I just want to say, I just want to say, if you are listening to this somewhere in the Middle East, for God's sake, and I haven't said this since the pandemic, but stay safe.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
There are things bigger than F1. But I'm so grateful I'm one of the hosts of Three Legs, Four Wheels and not the news agents, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I do know somebody who's in Dubai right now, and what he's decided to do, the best thing, is to just post his holiday photos on Instagram. And
hang on.
You're clearly a mentalist.
Bahrain is due to host the Ferrari Challenge Middle East on the 11th and 12th of December.
I mean, that could get cancelled. That could get cancelled, and both fans may be a little gutted.
Oh no! anyway.
Oh, come on. Middle Eastern tech CEOs need a hobby as well.
Oh yeah, no, there's going to be a lot of like rich dudes with their Ferrari at that, I imagine. Fans, maybe
Yeah.
not so much. People wanting to get involved, very much.
Just include it on a normal F1 weekend. I mean, just amalgamate them. Stick them on a Friday afternoon between the practices or something.
Oh God,
Yeah,
no!
we can have more stupid cup, so we can have.
Yeah, but that would mean FP2 would be delayed by about 3 weeks after they cleaned everything up.
God, there's debris everywhere. I thought they cleared this place up. No, that was a Ferrari Challenge race this morning.
Yeah.
Right, new series of Drive to Survive has just dropped. Anybody watched any of it? We haven't.
No, we're very behind.
I've watched all of it.
Good lord.
Oh, I've seen 3.
Yeah, it's shorter than I thought it was. Is it 8 episodes or?
Yeah, they've cut
Yeah.
2 episodes this year.
Possibly on legal advice.
Maybe once again, it is what it is. There's a lot that they leave out. There's a lot that's heavily edited, and there are some. So there's an episode on basically just as an example. There's an episode on Kimi Antonelli and his sort of struggle in his first year in Formula One. And there's one race where he's not having a particularly great time, and they keep showing Toto Wolff looking like a little bit like upset, or shaking his head and frowning and stuff. He's wearing like 3 different tops, and like his watch is on and then off, and then it's just like, come on, guys, at least a little bit of continuity might be nice. You had Valtteri Bottas stood next to you before. Now he's disappeared, and you're clearly a cold race because everybody was in t-shirts and polo shirts before, and now they're in like the black quarter zips. What's going on? Like,
Bottas's mullet keeps growing and shrinking between shots.
no, yeah, Bottas it wasn't. It was Bradley Lord. So Bottas stood next to him, and then they cut away and they cut back, and it's Bradley Lord. And I'm like, wait, this is not.
You cannot mix those 2 people up.
No. Not really. I mean, it's entertaining. It's interesting to the funnest part of the Drive to Survive was the funnest part of last season, which was the Lego parade lap, the Lego car race at Miami, when they all had the Lego cars and the it was a driver's parade. That's what it's called.
Yes.
That was it was hilarious. Watching it again, I was laughing out loud, like Lewis Hamilton just like ripping it out of everybody, because like like you look like you're on business calls, Kimi, and Kimi Antonelli, to be fair, does look like he's taking a business call and George is his chauffeur. Like, it's.
I wonder if those cars took between 3 to 9 hours to make.
We've watched the
really
making
hope they do
of,
that
haven't
again.
we? They did a making of.
Oh God, yes, I'd forgotten about that.
And it was brilliant. But I think was it the Ferrari that nearly didn't make it out? It like broke quite late on. And, yeah,
So that was put together by actual Ferrari then?
possibly.
Nah, right, okay.
But they all had the best time. It was just and that was the highlight of Drive to Survive. I mean, they make drama where there wasn't really any drama, and then they sort of didn't really delve into the actual drama. So yeah, it's a typical Drive to Survive, worth a watch, but just don't take it as seriously as I think some other people do.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy Drive to Survive. I'm happy to get through it quickly enough so that I don't read all about it online. But it obviously, I'm not the target audience for it. I'm not the person who's meant to get everything from it. We're the people who have a season ticket for Wrexham. We're not the people who avoid BBC final score so we can save the excitement till April to see what happens in the Wrexham series. Jane. Sorry, Jane.
I did think this is a very odd example he's giving here. But
Wrexham are in the 5th round of the FA. I don't want to know. Oh, okay, sorry. So yeah, it's one of those things. I'm so sorry. It's one of those things where I think that it's obviously not for us, but if the content's out there and it's quite good to see the behind the scenes stuff, then it's it's fantastic to watch. But it does get edited to within an inch of its life.
Yeah, there's a couple of things as well about so many that they're really aware that Netflix are recording. So you do hear a couple of times like, don't say anything. Netflix are recording. Netflix are filming, like right behind my shoulder. Don't say anything. So there's a few bits of that. The McLaren double. Sorry, I'm going to go into spoilers here. The McLaren double DQ in Vegas. There's a lot of don't speak. Netflix are filming. And there's a lot of what else is there? There is one quite funny bit where I think there's a reception somewhere and they're all stood on a balcony, and Carlos Sainz and Christian Horner are having a conversation about how they don't really like the city that they're in. But then they realize that Netflix are filming them and recording them. They're like, we absolutely love the city. It's great.
Yeah, it's Christian Horner going, it's New York, isn't it? They're talking about they're at the top of the Rockefeller Center. And he turns and goes, it's dirty and it stinks of weed. Then looks at the camera and goes, but we all love it. Yeah, nice one. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy it, but I don't think it's essential. If Drive to Survive got cancelled, this year, then I don't think I'll be sitting there going, oh no Drive to Survive. How will I get into my Formula? I already am.
Yeah, exactly. Just watch Formula One. And this is what Valtteri Bottas said, wasn't it? If you want to get, don't believe all the drama. Just watch Formula One. Yeah.
There's an interesting article about Apple getting involved in Formula One, and it said something about a three-pronged approach. The first prong was making F1 the movie. The Oscar Best Picture nominee, F1 the movie. The second step was acquiring the rights for the US, which is what they've got for this year. And the third step is potentially to get in touch with the production company who make Drive to Survive, box-to-box productions, and try and offer them more money than Netflix have to take the series off them.
Bloody hell.
Interesting. Yeah.
Intriguing.
There is something, isn't it? It's Netflix, but it's not in the UK. I think it's in some countries. Netflix, you will be able to watch the first race of this season live.
Oh, wow.
Oh. That's...
I believe.
Hang on.
I believe that's for this season.
I'm going to do some Googling.
Yeah, I think that's for this. It might be for next season. I think it's this season. That's not, and it's not in the UK. It's in some countries. I want to say in the United States. I might be wrong, but you can watch the first race of the season live, and they're going to maybe do a couple more.
Netflix will air the Canadian Grand Prix in the US, while Apple will stream Drive to Survive Season 8 as of this afternoon.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah,
are we getting Monday news that we missed?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, under the deal, Netflix gains rights to simulcast the Canadian Grand Prix in the USA with a subscription service to air the full race weekend, including practice, qualifying, and the race itself. While Apple have landed rights to simulcast the 8th season of Drive to Survive on Apple TV Plus. Yeah, that is actually very fresh news from literally today. Netflix has also secured global streaming rights to a major boxing fight between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao.
I thought Floyd Mayweather was coming out of retirement to fight Tyson.
Apparently he's fighting Manny Pacquiao live on the Antiques
As
Roadshow.
in Mike Tyson, not Tyson Fury.
Didn't they fight in like 2017 or 2018 or something?
It was 2015. I'll give you the exact date if you like.
Oh.
It was
I do.
It was, I believe, and I might be wrong, please Google it. It was the 2nd of May, 2015.
What's this? Mayweather Pacquiao.
Yeah, I do remember. I do remember staying up to watch it because They had a
It was the 2nd of May 2015.
There was a triple feature on TV that night. There was the documentary about the build-up to the fight, followed by a documentary on the making of the documentary for the build-up to the fight.
behind the scenes of the fight.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Don't tell me there was somebody writing a diary about the behind the scenes of the fight, so that they're going to make that into a movie at some point.
Yeah, from that point on, it got a bit blurry because I was watching it with Nick, and you know what he's like for drinking, and you've got to keep up with him.
Yes. Yeah.
This is what Apple have acquired for F1, the making of Drive to Survive.
So yes, it looks like Apple's three-pronged attack in coordination with Netflix. How long before they merge? Yeah, so, right, US viewers, you don't have to have Apple TV to watch the Canadian Grand Prix. However,
Which is excellent news.
However, it will be clashing with the Indy 500.
This is
yes.
still a weird
Right.
thing.
But the Canadian Grand Prix this year starts at 9 p.m, and I'm wondering if that's a move to get the Indy 500 in before the Canadian Grand Prix starts.
Possible.
Yeah, so I think...
As we all know, the Indy 500 always ends on time.
Always very
That
perfectly
never ends
scheduled.
on Monday.
well, I think Indy's due to start at 3 p.m. our time. So if it...
That early?
Yeah. So if it doesn't throw it down, it should be done in time for the start of the Canadian Grand Prix. But that means it'll clash with the not Coca-Cola anymore 600.
No, it's 12:45 Eastern, so that's
so
quarter to 6.
That's going to be
our
quarter to
time.
6, so it's literally going to be one after the
Yeah.
other. They may fit the Canadian Grand Prix in before the NASCAR, so that could be an incredible triple header.
I might be in bed by the time the NASCAR starts. I'm not guaranteeing I'm staying up for that one.
It's a bank holiday weekend.
Oh, you spoil me. I think that weekend I've got to go down to the island and do a thing called the Three Rivers Music Festival.
Oh,
Oh, I was hoping when you said you were going down to the island and I've got to do that, I was really hoping for something folksy and naff.
Oh, well, it's one of them. No, officially, if any Three Rivers Music Festival organisers are listening, I thoroughly support this event. Yeah, the lineup includes such well-known acts as Mungo's Hi-Fi, the Dub Pistols, and Sax, Raps and Wax.
I've heard of the Dub Pistols.
Yeah,
if
I've
it-
seen the Dub Pistols.
If it's the same
They
ones
did
that were
a-
going about 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's it. That's them. Yeah, they did a VW Campervan Festival on the Isle of Wight as well. So yeah, I'm down there that weekend, but I'm only going for one day. And you know what? I don't think it will be the Sunday. I just don't.
No. I was thinking you saying you're going down there to judge a best scarecrow competition or something.
I've applied many times. There is a group. I've just gone on the lineup page, and there's a group called Fulu playing. And I mean, imagine the band shot for this band. You know, the press shot, and I don't know how to describe it. I'm just going to copy it into the group.
please do.
It's quite surreal. This happened last time. Why do things not copy and paste on my laptop? Oh well. So yeah, there's a band called Fulu playing.
How are we spelling this?
F-U
Lovely.
L-U umlauts on both
Oh, fucking hell.
U's.
Oh, so Fuller.
Fulu.
Fuller.
Oh,
Fulu.
what the hell?
Fulu. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, they look ace.
The only way I can describe it is one of them's a wooden reindeer.
It does look a bit like Slipknot at Christmas. Yes.
That's a movie I'd watch.
What, Slipknot at Christmas?
Yeah. Because they all live in the same house, right?
I'd probably watch these just to see what was going on.
And it'd be accompanied by a Christmas soundtrack, obviously.
Yes, I hope so.
Their bio on
Santa Social.
Their bio on the website says traveling from France, as in it's meant to be as in they are traveling, but they've written it as travel in from France with a riot of horns, rhythm and raw energy, blending Balkan brass, electronic grooves and festival-ready bass lines into a wild, euphoric live show that hits
wanna
hard
see
and
them.
keeps the dance floor moving.
One of them looks like the Iron Giant, but little.
I am
Okay, well, there they are.
right. I am putting a photo on the Three Legs Discord just for the benefit of
No.
anyone that's on there now with no.
I was going to say, are you dropping
explanation.
it without context?
I've just said one of the things that got discussed tonight and that photo.
Lovely.
Oh, holy hell. So, we are rapidly approaching the start of the season. It is Monday as we're recording, and FP1 is due to start early hours of Friday morning our time.
Yes.
Something like half midnight Friday morning our time.
We have stayed awake before, haven't we, to watch the first practice?
Yeah,
Many years ago now.
Many
Paul.
years ago, 2 years on the trot after Festival, and both years we necked an entire bottle of vodka between us after we'd been doing a pub gig all night.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, we're going out for dinner on Thursday night.
No.
So
I'm flying back home Friday morning, and
Oh, shit, sorry.
I don't want a
Bless you,
repeat.
bless
Don't want a repeat of one time I was in an airport in London where I was still so hammered from the night before I didn't know how cigarettes worked, and and Jeremy Clarkson had to light my Marlboro for me because I couldn't hold a lighter.
what? What the hell? How's this never come up?
I've not told you this one before.
Was this
No,
circa
no,
the
I-
period he was a resident of Man?
Yes, because he was waiting for the same flight as me. So I've been out. I've been down in London for a few days, and I've been out. I've been out the night before with some friends, and I got absolutely rotten. And you know when you get so drunk that you still slaughtered the following afternoon. So you got the pleasure of being drunk and having a hangover at the same time.
It has
Yeah.
been some years, but that is not a pleasure.
No, it was not, and it was the middle of summer as well, so it was absolutely roasting. I had to get right across London on the tube, and it was about 25 degrees on the surface, so you can imagine how hot it was there. Get to my friend's place. I ended the night in Notting Hill, and I had to get to Finsbury Park, and then get to City Airport. So I had to cover about 3/4 of London, drunk and hungover, and feeling absolutely wretched, and could barely put one foot in front of the other. Managed to get checked in at the airport, got through security, left my boarding card, my rucksack with my ID and my wallet on the X-ray table. Didn't even notice, went and sat down, and then got a call over the tannoy saying, would I please go back to security and pick up some items that I'd left? And I was like, oh, fuck. Then went and sat by the gate, and it was before the smoking ban came in, and I had a packet of cigarettes in the inside pocket of my jacket, and I was fumbling for them, trying to get them, couldn't even open them. And didn't realise I was sat next to Jezza, and like, would you like one of these? I can help. And so it gave me a Marlboro, and I was trying to work my lighter, and I couldn't even do that. I was that far gone. So, I've got this. Lit it for me. I'm like, oh, thanks. And it was only about 2 hours later after I got home. Drank about 2 pints of coffee. Oh, Sports Direct mug. Drank about 2 pints of coffee and came to home. I was scrounging cigs off Jeremy Clarkson in City Airport 2 hours ago.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was a resident here for a short time, and one day I was walking out of the very small main shopping centre in Douglas, and just happened to see somebody.
Ironically enough, now a Sports Direct.
It is now, yeah. That is actually in Sports Direct, yeah. And I was walking out of there, and like Isle of Man people will know, if you walk out and you turn right to go down the main street, there's a bit of a pinch point there where people are walking into the shopping centre, and
Everyone tries
out.
to take the racing line and goes for the shortest.
Everyone exactly, yeah. Sean gets it. Everyone goes for the racing line, and I sort of saw somebody, and it was raining, and he sort of had this collar up round his neck, and I saw him, and I knew that I knew him, but I didn't know where I knew him from, so I said hello to him. And then as he went past us, I was like, shit! I don't actually know him.
I mean, just like everybody over here, I saw his Ford GT on the back of a tow truck many, many, many times. Never saw him driving it. I just saw it being towed to and from the ferry. Right. So, as I was saying, with the season coming up, and I'm buggering off down to London for a few days, probably best to launch this now. The prediction game is going to be back for this year.
Oh, hold up. There you go.
So we're going to do it the same as last year. Predict the top 5 in each race, and I'm frantically looking at the website for last year's rules because it's been that long that I've forgotten.
It's a new season, new rules.
Oh, no. I'm keeping the rules, so I don't have to rewrite the web page. I can just change 2025 to 2026. Being economical. So the closer your selected drivers are to the position where they finish, the more points you get. Bonus points if you get the top 5 in the right order. Bonus points per pole, fastest lap, correct number of DNF, DNS, or DQs. Anyone that's not classified, and double points on one race. And all you need to do to enter that is go to the website at threelegsforwheels.com, go to the games section, and by the time you listen to this, the 2026 Prediction League will be up as well. And also, are we going to do the usual thing with Fantasy F1? We're going to set up a league. We're all going to enter a team, and we're not going to change it all season because we're all going to forget.
I think I've forgotten the actual entering of the team bit for about the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the prediction fridge.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes!
I forgot about that. The prediction fridge.
So I mean, I don't feel like Doug should take a photo of the prediction fridge, or the fridge of prediction, whatever we've decided to call it, and also enter that. But that's going to be in all 22 positions. I will have a prediction for the Australian Grand Prix.
Excellent.
Shortly.
On a fridge.
On a fridge using magnets.
Yeah.
Can we get a little jingle which is the pick of destiny from Tenacious D? But it's the fridge of prediction, yeah. Oh, I can't sing, but you'd have to do it, Chris. But...
Maybe. But I'm going to sample that and use it.
He'll forget.
Well, no, this work trip that I've got tomorrow, I'm going to have my memory wiped because I'll be working with. I'm not allowed to say. I'm not allowed to say for reasons of national and international security.
Is it a good idea to be cracking jokes like that, given what's going on in the world?
Just going to add Paul to the no-fly list.
Won't be the first time. So, yeah, if you want to enter any of the 2 prediction games, he says, changing the subject back to what you segued from and just completely ignoring everything crass and tasteless that you said for the last couple of minutes.
I forgot how Jacques Villeneuve sung.
Just go to the website, threelegsforwheels.com, and it will be all there under the games menu. If you want to get in touch to send an Is That Glock, please do, because I didn't get a chance to write one for this week for us. And nobody sent one in. Drop us a line, threelegsforwheels@gmail.com, or get in touch on the socials. I think we're at threelegsforwheels on just about everything, and individually our social handles are.
At Sean Cowper.
At Flood21.
At Kieran is boring.
And at Pablo100. If you want to help us out, there is the Patreon as well. Normally, patrons get the show a bit early, but I think everyone's going to have to get it at the same time because I'm up at 5 in the morning.
Oh no, how will you cope? No one ever gets up at 5.
Said
Now
the
that's
radio
sarcasm.
presenter.
I'm up at 5 and I'm working till about 11 tomorrow night.
On 2 different continents.
Yes.
Well, 2 different land masses, but you know.
So if you want to help us out, donate on Patreon. It's patreon.com/3legsportwheels, and that's anything from €1, $1, £1 upwards, and it is almost appreciated. It goes into making the show, buying software, and I think after what's happened tonight, possibly buying a new mixer.
Oh yeah,
Because we've been having mixer problems again. Right, and don't forget, if you want to join us on Discord, there's a load of us usually on the text chat during the races. There is a link to that on the website as well. It'd be great to see you on there. We've got the Watch Party chat channel where a load of us every race. Well, every race, every qualifying, and a lot of practices as well. There's always text going on, and plenty of running gags, I would say. So that's probably about it for this week, and we will be back with a review of hopefully an exciting Australian Grand Prix where, let's just say, at least 20 cars get off the line.
Well, we'll hopefully be
Not
back
sure.
next week. We'll be back next week with some Formula One.
Yes.
Let's hope.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
I'm not sure it's a guarantee that 20 cars get off the line. You know.
Can we say at least 14 cars get off the line?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yes. Best of luck. Best of
Into
luck to
that in the
Aston,
prediction league.
best of luck to Aston Martin. All right. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.